Hello everyone, this is Patrick and welcome to my tutorial on how to use Open WebUI and OLLama with Llama 3 to create a chatbot. Well, it's less creating a chatbot and more loading one. So first this will also cover how to upload documents with various prompts in them to further fine-tune the AI or whatever the proper terminology is. So first thing you should do is go to the GitHub's Open WebUI page here. You can see the repository here, and it's pretty easily findable through a web search. Get to their Open WebUI repository and scroll down. You can see that they have various features here, including such things as theme customization, which we don't care too much about, and local RAG integration, which we do care about a little more. Now, as you scroll down here to the installation page, we can somewhat ignore this section and this section, since as long as you just install Open WebUI with bundled OLLama support, you don't need to worry about anything else. So what you need to do is, depending on if you have a GPU or not, in this case I have a GPU, but if you don't, you should select for a CPU only. And depending on that or not, you can just copy this. Now, before you do anything else, you should ensure that you have Docker Desktop or some other version of Docker, and that it does indeed exist. So now you should just do docker run this thing and paste it in. I get an error because I already have a container named that, but if you don't have a container named this, then you should be able to do it properly. I don't really know why you would have a container named Open WebUI if you don't if you don't already have Open WebUI, but if you do, you should just you could either you could either rename it in the prompt here, or you could just find the offending container in Docker and delete it. So now you can see that in Docker Desktop, I'm going to manually start mine up, but yours should have started up itself. As you can see, we have Open WebUI, we have the image, it should be running, and it should have a port. We should just go to localhost 3000. And now it opens up the OLLama page. I'm already logged in as a user, but if you're not, then you can just log in here. And if you don't have an account, you can just sign up. Now, when you sign up, it doesn't actually have to make any sense, because Open WebUI data just stays on your server. So you can just feel free to make it as nonsensical if you want. So now that you're logged in, you can go to a new chat or a workspace. In the workspace, you can create or discover model files and import or export them. This is where you just get your model to do specific things here, likewise with prompts, and for documents here. For documents, you can upload a text document with the plus sign here. As you can see, I have a document here. Well, it's more of I used to have a document somewhere, so let's make a new document. Let's open up a editor of our choice. You can just update this. Yeah, this is my old document here. So our document says if you save a person, you should always give them a cake. Now let's say if you see a dog, you should give it a hot dog. If you see a cat, you should give it a fish. If you see a parrot, you should not give it you should not give it a dog. And finally, if you see a llama, you should give it a block of hay. Don't take this for any medical advice, folks, and I'm not responsible if you decide to feed your llama a block of hay and cause health problems. we'll just call it, we'll just call it something like animals.txt. So now we can head back to our browser and we can hit the upload button. Once you upload it and select your file, hit save. Wait a little while and you can now see that animals.txt is here. It's more or less just copies your previous file, like the old animals.txt is still sitting here on the desktop and we don't actually need it anymore. So now we can go to create a new chat. Let's delete some of the old chats. As you can see, the old chats get capped if you don't delete them, even if you stop and start the container again. So now let's say, what should you do if you see a dog? Now we get a problem. There's no model selected, so we can go to here, type in the model name. I'm using Llama 3. If you click pull Llama 3 from there, it will download it and pull it in. Llama 2 is also a model, and generally speaking, any OLLama model that you find in here should work. If you go to OLLama's page, go to the library, you can find all their models here. I'm not exactly going to bother with testing out a new model, just know that Llama 3 works pretty much perfectly. At least for me, at least at this time. And now we will head back to localhost 3000. And I'll just get rid of any other localhost. So to access the upload, you just go to the workspace here. We just confirm that everything's here. For our playground, you could select our user, messages, other things. But for now, we'll just have a chat with Llama 3. Be sure to select the model before chatting. And now, let's prompt it. So what should I do if I see a dog? Llama 3 will give me an actual answer. I see that assumes that I'm oh, says I should consider carrying treats if I encounter a dog, but how would I know that? So now let's go to animals.txt. By clicking the hashtag sign, you can just query things in general. Like, let's say I want to query all my documents. That works. And now let's say, what should I do if I see a person? In my one of my documents here, I tell her in this document, new text document.txt. You can't really see it, but I tell the AI that if I see a person, I should always give it a cake. Now, since you've seen what exactly I've said, I can just upload animals to text and say, you can see that it's just referencing its sources from all documents.
According to what I've learned, you should always give them a cake.
You can tell it to continue the response, but chances are it's considered this to be done. So let's say now, what should you give various animals? And now you can query the info from here. You can see now that you should not give a parrot a dog, it doesn't like to learn too much from the documents, unfortunately. But if your documents explain why, it should generally explain. Once you're done with this, you can of course sign out. All the chats are individually managed. So for example, if I create a new one, new chat, select llama and ask it. Here it tells me that I shouldn't give a dog a hot dog. So yeah, you can query it information. You can tell it to learn based on your documents, and everything should work out well. So once you're done using this, you can sign out or not. It's your own device. No one's going to be hacking localhost most of the time. And once you go here, if you're on Docker desktop, you can head here, go to containers. You can see Open WebUI, and you can just stop it, and it will stop. And when you're ready to use it again, you can just go here and click start, and wait for it to finish running. See, that's still booting up right now, but once we wait a while, we're back. That's everything, and thank you for watching.